That's how I've operated for about 13 years until I heard the question, what if it could be easy? All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Very fun episode for you today. We have one question that we need to answer, and that is, what if this could be easy? Think about that. We're going to answer that later on. Closing out the episode. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the likes, all the messages you sent. I honestly just love talking to you, sharing with you what's going on in my life, where my mindset is, and how I'm growing as a private practice owner. Let's get better together. Today, I'm going to ask you a question. What if this, you define what this is, what if this could be easy? Have you ever sat and just asked yourself, what if this could be easy? Honestly, until I stumbled upon it in a podcast or book, I consume so much content, I'm not sure where it came from, but the question was, what if this could be easy? We glorify the grind culture. Dying is the ultimate form of respect or dedication, so we are at a hard day's work. We're working from 7 a.m. till midnight. He's going to kill himself trying to accomplish this goal. We glorify the grind culture. It won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. All of these things you hear, right? That's what we kind of create. And again, I am no exception to this. That's how I've operated for about 13 years until I heard the question, what if it could be easy? Okay? What are the side effects of the grind culture? You go all out, pull an all-nighter, or you work, beyond your capacity to recover the next day. So what that means is you work so hard, you fill your schedule up so full that you get through the day, you're exhausted, you now are giving less effort, less energy. You're not the same doctor the next day. Downstream effects. Me as a husband, as a father, as a boss, as a friend. Me as myself is lacking because I put too much into that one day, right? That one effort, that one thing. That's great in a short-term thing or a championship event, the final hurrah, if you will. But that's not the life we live. We are in the long game here, right? What if it could be easy? Okay? So 80%, 100% of the time will always be 100%, 50% of the time in the long run. Okay? Now again, if you're taking a one-shot event, maybe that 100%, 50% of the time will beat you your 80%. But I promise you, over the long horizon, which we are in our professions, building a practice, building a business, 80% every single day will beat that 100% over the long run every single time. 80% of the time, it works 100% of the time. You know what I'm talking about with Anchorman. Anyways, I digress. So just remember that this mindset is really hard to grasp when you first get out. Everything we've done up to this point has been give your all. To give less than your best is to waste the gift. Steve Prefontaine, right? But I promise you, in this long haul, 80% is your goal. Now, if you give 80%, tomorrow you're not going to notice anything. In 1 week, you won't be any different. In 6 months, you'll be unrecognizable. In 1 year, you'll be a completely different person, a completely different office. You'll have leveled up just by giving 80% over the long haul. Okay? So what if this could be easy? How do you get to that 80%? Well, big picture, when you're looking at it, a conductor does not play the instruments, right? A conductor plays the orchestra. He gets the most out of every single instrument there, and they all make that symphony sound amazing. This is a perfect case of less is sometimes more, right? A simple nudge in the right direction will get the result you're looking for. And again, you don't have to give that 110%, that grind culture. You're guiding the office. You're steering the ship in the right direction. With your team, you'll do more than what you would accomplish by yourself. Now, inexperienced leaders, myself, when I first started, I loved to get into the weeds. Oh, I can sell glasses better than my opticians. I know more about the optics of this than they do. If there's a problem, I'm going to be the one that fixes it. They want to hear from the doctor. There's a reason that you go into any other doctor's office that you've ever been to, and it's like pulling teeth to get FaceTime with the doctor. They're hidden in some vast corner. They're running around doing their own thing. For you to actually talk to the doctor, get their feedback, get their input, darn near impossible. I remember when I went through trying to get hired by doctors, the staff at a front desk tells you a ton. That's a whole nother episode, right? But it was like pulling teeth. I'm a student. I'm interested in possibly working. Can I give my resume, my CV, to the doctor? No. What? Right? It's impossible to get that FaceTime. But that's what I was doing. That's the mentality I had. Right? How many things are you doing that you could delegate to someone else? Right? You're giving your 110%, and you're going to get a bunch of small victories. Yes, you'll do that one thing better, but you're not going to grow, and you're going to burn yourself out. Public enemy number one. I am not telling you anything I didn't already realize for myself. Now, where do you go from here? How do you make that jump, that leap? I was watching the Super Bowl. I was talking to one of my friends. One of my very good friends. We love sports, right? Michigan fans, we like Jim Harbaugh. And he left. He's going to the San Diego Chargers. Not San Diego Chargers. Aging myself. Los Angeles Chargers. All right. To be the new head coach. I am old. I cannot believe I said that. And we're going to leave that in there because, well, I am old. Anyways, Los Angeles Chargers. And he looked at me and says, Jim wasn't calling the offense, wasn't calling the defense. And honestly, if you hear him at a press conference, he's weird. Right? My rebuttal was, dude, all he does is win. My friend came back and said, yeah, because he gets amazing coaches and they do the work. And I'm like, exactly. Do you know how hard it is to get a bunch of talent in a room and get them to all steer in the same direction? To get that group of great individuals to work together for a common vision, a common goal, and succeed. And that is a superpower. Can you get your team to be better than what they are as individual parts, to be a team and be amazing? That's the superpower that you need to have to run your office, to be efficient, to make your life easy. You need to make them better. Stop doing it yourself. And that's why I like Jim Harbaugh, and that's what we need to aspire to do to lead our offices. That's how we make it easy. I found that now that I have teams, from my front desk, my admin person, my actual office manager, my optical manager, my marketing team, I have ideas. I put it out there. So yeah, we can do this, this, and this. Whoa, wait, I don't have to do it myself? And you know what I'm doing? I'm accomplishing more than I ever have in these arenas. I'm doing way less. But I have a better team that is highly motivated for what they're doing, what their role is, and they're making it happen, and I'm just giving that gentle nudge to get them to go in the right direction. What if this could be easy? Right? Now, getting to that point, I'm talking out both sides of the mouth, not easy. Very hard. To sacrifice yourself, to take your dream, your baby, and trust it with someone else. right? Do you have kids? If you don't have kids, I'll tell you, the first time I left my daughter with my mom and dad, who are very capable, love me and my daughter more than probably anyone else in this world, other than myself, my spouse, etc. And I'm like, do you know what you're doing? Are you okay to watch her? Literally, I want to hit myself in the face now, but that's what an early first time parent does. I have 4 kids, and I don't. You just sit in the corner there, Thomas. You'll be fine, right? They will raise themselves. They're a pack of wolves. I don't know. But you stop caring because you start to understand they're resilient. One little thing here or there isn't going to affect the big picture, right? So they didn't get enough sleep. They ate a little too much candy. You have 1 or 2 bad experiences with a patient. You don't want to make it a trend, but they'll learn from that. Their failures will make them better and make your life easier. Okay? So, if you take anything away from this, ask yourself the question before you go into any new endeavor, what if this could be easy? And then realize, in order for it to be easy, you have to accept that you, who is probably the best in the office at most things, will not be carrying out the task. Unless it's actually seeing the patient, which again, we are delegating more and more from pre-testing to refractions to you name it. Where do we actually have to be the decision maker? The one that's carrying the baton and doing the actual work. Not nearly as many things as you think. What if it could be easy? What if it could be easy? Be Jim Harbaugh. Make your team the best it possibly can be. Be the artist, the master chef that can get all the perfect ingredients, but mix them ever so intricately, so perfectly, that it makes a masterpiece, a wonderful creation, a delicious delicatessen of a dessert. Make it happen. Be the best you can be by giving 80% 100% of the time. That's what I have for you. We'll have more for you next week. Where, oh where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and today I will leave you with this. I forget the origin, but it's a old ancient proverb. Behind the mountains are more mountains. Life, practice, you name it, marriage, parenthood, dating, whatever it is, will not get easier. There is more hard, there's more stuff in front of you every single time. Although it doesn't get easier, you will get stronger. The problems you face today will be little molehills compared to the problems you face tomorrow. The more talented you are, the bigger the problem. Stop thinking you want these headaches to go away. When you level up, so do your problems, and that's why you get paid the big bucks. That's what I have for you. Dr. Lily out.